Hey, what's up, guys? This is your race pace coach, and today we will go over my past 10 years of coaching traditional training or max yardage training. Okay, so the reason why I coached max yardage or traditional training is because that's how I grew up. That's how that's what I swam when I swam under my coach who was coaching me back in 2000s. This is what I learned from them. Okay, you swim as many yards as you can per practice. It's going to be mixed up between 25 75s, mostly hundreds, mostly 200s, but this is what we did. There's times when we did 100 hundreds, there's times when we did 52 hundreds, there's times when we did 250s, you know or there's times when we did four 1000s in a practice session. Okay, so the reason why I did this for my first 10 years of coaching, coach this way for my first 10 years, is because this is what I learned. This is what I thought that made swimmers fast. Because for myself, I mean, I wouldn't say that I was that fast, but I did get to the sectional level of swimming when I was, and I started swimming when I was 14, and I swam till I was 18, and then I stopped swimming and then joined the military after that. So this is this is I'm gonna go over my perspective of it and then share with you um, in comparison to the race pace training that I do now. Okay, so again, when I did max yardage, this is the measurement of how I would tell the swimmers if they're training hard or not. You're working hard and you feel exhausted after every practice session. Okay, that's pretty much the only thing that a swimmer can do when they leave practice to see if they worked hard or not. You know, it's not like race-based training where you have a notebook and a journal and you're writing down your results, and then you can look back and see if you improved on those sets. Okay, day by day. You know. Okay, and again, with traditional training, every day it's a different program. Every day it's a different workout, so you're not actually swimming the same sets every day. And again, you can't measure your performance if you're swimming different sets every day. Okay, so when I was doing max yardage with the coaching my kids doing max yardage in a 2 hour period, we get around 5,000 to 10,000 yards. When we do 10,000 yards, we're pretty much doing just straight freestyle, sometimes freestyle with fins, hundreds with fins, you know, in a 2 hour session. Okay. And the results I would get is, state swimmers within a year, regional zones level swimmers 1 to 2 years, and then sectional level 2 to 3 years. It would take that long to get swimmers to that level. And I I, I kind of thought like back in those 10 years, I thought like this was the only way to get kids to that level or even higher. I never really got kids past the sectional level doing max yardage because there's times when I took a break in swimming, coaching swimming, so it was like a in and out thing where like 3 years break, 3 years break, and then 3 years. So it was like several months of break in between. Okay, so this chart right here, this says 240 days. These are for like the dedicated swimmers that actually come to practice, stay for the 2 hour session, and get to the higher level. They're coming at least 240 days of the whole year, so 20 days a month. Not including weekends, and not including weekends. Okay, so if you go, if you take the minimum 5,000 yards per session, you 5,000 times 240, they're swimming 1.2 million yards a year. And then to get to the zone and regional level, you're swimming 2.4 or 3.6 million yards a year. And when you think about it like that, it's kind of ridiculous that I had my swimmers do so much yardage just to get up to the sectional level. And then when I compare it to race pace training, you know, we're doing like a quarter or even like less than half of 5,000 a day, you know, and we're taking 10 minutes breaks in between each set. So this is why I do race pace training. You look forward to better results. Your swimmers are training a lot faster, and you're training quality over quantity. They're training less. They're enjoying their time at practice because during their 10 minutes rest, they're like, writing in their notebook while talking to their swim mates or their friends, and then they're getting ready for the next set, which makes them more independent. And while you, as a coach, you're just doing stroke corrections, you're not worried about time. You leave that up to the swimmers because, in the end, that is their responsibility. It's it's they are the one who's swimming at swim meets and should be responsible for their own times and getting faster. Okay, so not only do they swim like a quarter to half yards less than 5,000? So, I mean, a half of this would be like 6 million. I mean, 600,000, 600K, or even 300K a quarter. So half and a quarter. Oops. Okay, so out of the whole year, they're only doing like 300K, between 300 to 600K a year. It just depends on the sets that they do at practice. Maybe even less than this for the swimmers. Okay, each year, state level or higher regional zones. Okay, 2 to 3 years to get, and then it also cuts the time in half or even to quarter for swimmers that I noticed that swimmers get to the state level or regional level. It could take them 1 year, or takes them like 3/4 of a year to get to the regional level, zone level, and then like 1 to 1.5 years to get to the sectional levels. And this is for even kids that are 12 years. When I started race-based training, and then over 2 years, I had a 12-year-old achieve his sectional time. Two 12-year-olds achieve their sectional time in one in the 2 fly and then one in the 100 back. So it shows that you don't need to be a teenager for to get sectional level or higher, or get futures time too. And also it shows that you're doing a lot less yardage and a lot less time to get these kids to a higher level when you're doing race-based training. Okay, so this I've been doing race-based training for 5 years. It's pretty much strict race-based training. It's pretty much like 95% of my practices throughout the whole year is race-based training. They're just doing their own sets. Okay, um, once in a while I throw in a max yardage set, like once or twice a year, just to see how well they respond to max yardage and see their reaction to it. um, and then there's times when we just do games and drills, which is not considered max yardage because it's just drills and games, and we're not really working out hard. When we do drills, it's just 25s, barely any 50s, and then we do 1 hour of drills and then 1 hour of race pace training, and that's how I run my practices. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the description, the link, the comment box below. Any suggestions too? I I've been responding to every question I get. So if you have a question, just leave a question and I'll respond to it. Okay. Um, if you want to check out my Raise Pace 101 course, it's in the description below. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.